I think, in terms of perception and how China sort of calibrates its India relationship, I think India has understood that the basic perception, that is recognition of India's strategic potential as a future threat, an innate sort of sense of China's civilizational superiority over India, India's continued propensity in what its mind is to align with the West, and India's hegemonic aspirations, which China doesn't appreciate, as it has, because it doesn't think India has actually done anything to prove its potential, have shaped an enduring stereotype of what India is all about in the mind of China. And the image of India as an obstructionist to China is increasingly gaining momentum. So we understand that, this sort of recasting of India has happened, and that despite, as many, we know the Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping met sort of 18 times over the course of the time since the Prime Minister has taken office, and you have, a lot of confidence building measures being taken place. There remains a duality that where, as I said in the past, a formal rapprochement on the surface versus distrust and hedging behind the scenes continue into the foreseeable future. And that has, implications for the way India sort of not just manages its China relationship, but also manages its external engagements. I think I heard recently Yoon Son, of course, from the Stimson Center, talking of the Chinese assessment that India and China's relationship had reached sort of a bottleneck in their own perception of their own structural conflict, which is, she says, both publicized and intensified. And there is a perception, an enduring one at that this unfriendliness has turned into hostility, and that is here to stay. I think that's something that and that's an assessment I completely understand, and I buy that. And that's something that India has also understood. Now, she also goes on to then explain that, China has its own dilemma vis-a-vis India, where it's not willing to go to war with India because it has bigger fish to fry, but it is also not willing to concede on the boundary question. And frankly, if that's the assessment, that doesn't leave too many options on the table in terms of a new normal for the relationship to go ahead. And I think that's a takeaway that India has sort of internalized. Now, so I think what you see is more continuity in terms of India, which, where it's managing the China relationship becomes really a focus on building its own capacity internally, and therefore leveraging its external partnerships to fill in key sort of gaps, which it has sort of self-identified in terms of its capacity. Now, India also understands that its security, frankly, is its own responsibility. And it's not dependent on any other sort of like-minded partner or strategic partner to defend it in times of crisis. But I think, it is continuing to maintain and leverage and build these external engagements to bolster its capacities, including its defense capabilities. So we've also seen that India is sort of sticking to its motto of more multilateralism, not less. And if you see the recent engagements, both with Western powers, as I mentioned, you have the Gulf region and Southeast Asia, and sort of the broader sort of India's mainstreaming of the Indo-Pacific policy, there's a momentum on issue-based alignments and cooperation, which it is leading in many ways. So we see India wanting to be part of the solution to provide developing countries in the region both an alternative to China's governance model and as also tangible solutions. So I think this would sort of sum up what are the lessons that India has learned and how it plans to take that forward.
If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the Eastern Ladakh Crisis, please check out the other videos in our exclusive interview series here on our YouTube channel, and visit stratlearning.org to enroll for free in Deterrence in Southern Asia.